against the spread here, Eckman and Sean. How you guys doing today? Make sure you follow, subscribe, like the YouTube channel, comment, give us that support. It all helps us at the long. We appreciate it. We're here bringing you Week 5 picks. We're going to do some prop bets, daily fantasy, best bets, do our weekly trophy bets. How you doing, Sean?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm happy about last week. We had a halfway decent week last week. I think last week you went 18 and 14. You were at 50% for the year, which all in all, that's not bad 4 weeks into the season. And I am 47% for the year. So I went 10 and 8 last week. So I at least stayed in the positive. So I was happy about that. And I'm at 47%. And right now you're in the lead at 50.
Yeah, it feels good to have a winning record for a week, right?
Yeah.
I think it's going to get better. I think first 4 weeks are tough because it's hard to find trends. It's hard to know what teams are. And I think we're starting to find some trends and figure out. Although this is going to be a big week, got a lot of 2-2 teams playing each other. So this is where the cream rises to the top. So we'll see.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of close games this week coming up. Not a lot of big spreads, not a lot of high point totals. So it's going to be an interesting week this week. I don't know if it's a week of upsets or if it's just going to be kind of a bland week, and we'll see what happens. But all in all, I think, we had a good week last week and good year so far. I mean, if we can try to stay around that 50% line throughout the whole season, I mean, that's not bad. I mean, and then try to start pulling away towards the end of the season when we kind of have an idea with all these teams and what they're doing. And I think that's when you can really start trying to basically pull away and make some money here in the middle half of the season. So we'll see how that goes. But
yeah, let's
get right into it. Let's start right into the first game of the week. It's another London game. You texted me yesterday, I think, and I guess Jacksonville just slept overnight in London.
Stayed there. Why not?
Just stayed there overnight and play another London game. So I don't know, that might be an advantage for Jacksonville actually, with the Bills coming in. Bills are basically considered a home team, I guess is what they're saying. So it's -5.5 changed since then. That's what it says on Yahoo. -5.5 over 48.5. What did you have? Do you have any different lines than that, or?
No, that's right what I have. 5.5, 48.5.
All right. What do you like in this game?
I mean, yeah, Buffalo's technically the home team. I don't know why they do that. It's kind of weird. Jacksonville's
because you have to factor in because they always give the home team technically a 3-point favorite. So I believe they do that in the London games. So are they saying that this game's really more of like a 2.5 type spread, which I wouldn't get that either. So that doesn't make sense. I feel like this spread's really low. I think Buffalo's been really pouring it on the last couple weeks. So why they're only at 5.5? I feel like that should be.
I am going to hammer this bet this weekend. I think Josh Allen found it's interesting, funny matchup in this game. Josh Allen versus Josh Allen. Josh Allen, the edge rusher for Jacksonville. You got Josh Allen, obviously the quarterback for Buffalo. So that'll be an interesting matchup. All Josh Allen needs to do is stay upright, and I think they handle Jacksonville easily. And I think Jacksonville looked really good against Atlanta for obvious reasons. Desmond Ridder being 1, 2, and 3 there. Neutral side, but again, Jacksonville's been there. I don't think that matters. And Buffalo may be getting Von Miller back, so keep an eye out for that.
Okay.
I think Josh Allen's found his groove, and give me Buffalo in this one all day.
Yeah, I think Jacksonville. I think they've definitely taken a step in the right direction the last week or so. So I like what they're doing, but at the same time, Buffalo has done the same thing. I mean, they lost that first game, and it was just it was probably a little bit of an embarrassing game for them to lose. And then they came out and they hammered a couple teams, and they did it again last week against the Dolphins, I believe. Was it? Yeah, it was against the Dolphins that they basically destroyed them. And they have a pretty solid defense right now. So keep it a low scoring game. I think Buffalo, one of my best bets, and I'll probably say it again at the end of the show, but one of my best bets is the Bills team total over 26.5. I don't think that's not possible. I think Kansas City scored, I think, 20 some on them. And I think Buffalo can easily do the same. So I do like that team total. But yeah, definitely, I'm going to hammer Buffalo minus 5.5 is what I have it at right now. So I think that's going to be a good total. I think that should be closer to 7.5, probably. Maybe even a little higher. But I think it's just because Jacksonville probably stayed over there and they won the last game or so. And I think they're looking a little bit better, so people are probably giving them a little bit more credit.
I think Jacksonville hasn't looked good, right? I mean, they got the
yeah, except for just against
but
Atlanta.
They didn't even look good against Atlanta. They just kind of ho-hum got out of there, and Atlanta can't do anything offensively. I think that's going to be a theme all year, which, there's a game that we'll touch on, Houston versus Atlanta, which I like Houston in that one, but they don't look like they're hitting all cylinders offensively, and they got the weapons. They might get it going, but I don't think Buffalo's the matchup to make that happen.
Yeah. And then also remember, everybody, it's a London game, so set your lineup Sunday for 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. So, yeah, you definitely want to get those in, so you're not waking up and wondering why your lineups are wrong. So, we'll jump over. I'm loving this game. I think you will too. But Eagles Rams plus 4.5, over under is 50. I love this game. I am taking the over 50. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I was on the Rams-Colts last week over. That hit easily. I think this one's going to hit easily. I don't know about the spread, though. I think there's a team that can give I didn't think Washington could give the Eagles a run last week, and they did, obviously. I think the Rams are another team that are secretly kind of good. They're just not – they're not flashy right now, and Cooper Kupp, I believe, is coming back this week. So that's a huge upgrade right there. I really think this could be an upset game. I have this as one of my underdog teams for the parlay underdogs this week. But yes, I'm not even going to touch the spread this week on that. But I am going to go on the over 50. I think that's going to be a pretty solid hit there.
I kind of love the Rams in this matchup. I kind of do. And Puka Nacua has been such a cool story this year. And now they're getting cut back. What happens there? I think Tutu Atwell kind of gets pushed out a little bit for obvious reasons. But yeah, Rams, I think give Philly fits. The one, and we'll get to parlays, but they did give up 56 yards rushing to Anthony Richardson last week. So if you wanted to hit a little rushing total for Jalen Hurts, it's not a bad spot to target that.
Yeah.
And Philly, to use a famous line, Philly let Washington off the hook a little bit, up until winning. They won in overtime, right? Field goal?
Yeah.
They took it with overtime.
They won overtime with the field goal.
Close calls this year, though. For Philly, I think Hurts was revived a little bit last week to his old self. But 4.5, I think it's going to be a field goal game. And like you said, I think it's going to be a little high-scoring game. So I like the Rams to keep this one close. I think the gunslinger, Matt Stafford, who I know too well, even if Philly gets up, I think LA kind of climbs back and makes it a close one.
Yeah, yep. I can see that. I also think with the Eagles, I've never realized until now that how much Jalen Hurts is just an all-around quarterback. Like, he's not going out and throwing, he will obviously have games here and there, but he's not going out throwing 300-plus yards a game. It's like he's going out throwing for 220 and then rushing for 80 to 100.
Yep.
But it's weird, though, because you knew people like Cam Newton was going to do that back in the day, or Robert Griffin, or some of those running quarterbacks. You knew they were going to do that, but you don't look at Jalen Hurts. Even though he's doing that now, you don't look at him like that type of a quarterback. So I think people get lost that they see the Eagles and who they are, and they go after Cam or after Hurts passing yardages. And I think you need to focus more on his rushing yardages because, with them giving up that much to Anthony Richardson last week, I could see them giving up a lot to Jalen Hurts this week for sure, especially with the weapons that the Eagles have, obviously, on offense.
Yeah, I agree. And LA does have a 35% pressure rate, which is decent, but I think Philly's O-line is a little better. I think they'll be able to protect him a little better. Yeah, I like vintage Jalen Hurts, but at the end of the day, the Rams have surprised some people, and I think they'll keep doing that in this game.
Yeah. Yep. So the third game here we got. I think this is going to be another pretty good game. Cowboys 49ers. 49ers
Pretty
minus
good.
3.5.
On,
Over
man.
under
Game
45.
of the week.
This is going to be this is going to be probably the game of the week. And this could be a future NFC Championship matchup. 49ers, I don't doubt that they can get there. No problem. Cowboys, they'll probably choke it some way or the other. They won't be able to get there. So. But this could be a future big game, even into the playoffs. But what do you have in this game?
Was that Dak Prescott calling you saying, "Don't doubt me"?
Yeah,
Is that him calling you just now? No, but
nah.
for real, I love this matchup. You got. Let's break down the stats here. You ready? So Dallas offense is 4th in the league. Their defense is 1st. San Fran's 3rd in offense, and they got to be up there in defense. I don't have their exact rating. They got to be 2 or 3. And McCaffrey's at the buffet, and he is not leaving. So he's been eating all year. But I think Dallas has pieces to kind of contain him a little bit. So I think that's the matchup to watch here. Obviously, if McCaffrey goes off, that opens up everything for Purdy. And Purdy's putting up – he's number 1 in QBR right now. Just think about that. It's crazy. Mr. Irrelevant going off.
Yep.
Dallas has the highest pressure rate.
Yeah, I'm torn. What's that?
Dallas has the highest pressure rate in the league, but I think San Fran's O-line can keep him upright. What are you surprised about? What's going on?
I'm torn by what to go here. Even with our trophy bets, I'm so like because you have I'm going through a system that I'm trying to put together with betting, and you have 2 of the top 5 teams in the 49ers and Cowboys. They're in the top 5 with points per game on offense. So they're scoring no problem right now.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have 2 of the top 5 defenses, and actually it's the top 3. Cowboys 1, 49ers 3. 2 of the top 3 defenses points per game allowed on defense. So is it going to be a high scoring game or is it going to be a low scoring game? And that's where I'm torn because I was kind of on the under 45 because I thought maybe this is just be one of those like rushing, grinded out type games with these 2 teams because I think they are more defense oriented than anything. But then I'm starting to sit there but then like I would sit there and say, okay, then you got to take the team that's going to get points, which would be Dallas at plus 3.5. But I think the 49ers could easily beat them by 10 or 15, like 10 or 14 points easily. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. I think I'm going to stick with the under 45. I think it's one of those ones where people are probably thinking it's going to be a shootout, and they're forgetting that how good these defenses actually are. So I think I'm going to go with the under 45. But this one, it's going to be such a good game to watch. It's going to be a scary game to bet, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think it really depends which Dak Prescott shows up, right? So it's Jekyll and Hyde out there. So if he shows up and he shows out and doesn't turn the ball over, let's say he has like 1 turnover, I think that's his threshold where they stay in the game. And I think at the end of the day, I think offense versus offense, I think it turns into a little bit of a track meet here. Not, the over-under is 45. It's nothing crazy, right? So I can see like a 27-24 game. And then you bet Dallas, but I'm leaning San Fran in this one. I think San Francisco is just so well rounded, so well coached, so many tricks up their sleeves. They can go anywhere with the football. Another question mark is Deebo Samuel. How's his ribs? Will he be able to?
Yeah, he was questionable last time I checked. So
I think he'll still play, but they might limit him a little bit.
Yeah.
And on the outside, they got Ayuk, who's a monster. At the end, I think it's just, can Dallas keep up? And I think San Fran just has a little bit too much. But then again, if Dallas can't beat them, who can?
Yep. This is the best chance for a team to beat them.
17-0, right?
Yeah. It's close to it. There's only a couple other teams that could probably have a chance to beat them if they beat Dallas, because just how good Dallas is right now. I mean, that was a fluke game against Arizona, but yeah, just how good Dallas is playing right now. All in all, I mean, yeah, it's going to be the best chance of someone to beat the 49ers. So, but we'll see what happens. But we're going to jump into our trophy bets. You want to go ahead and start us off and just run down the games and shoot through which ones you're using for the trophy.
So I got a little frisky last week doing all the over-unders and lines. Not going to go that way this week.
Yep.
We're gonna tamper it down a little bit, just because, I mean, like I said, a lot of these teams 2-2 playing each other. You know, you don't really know how it's going to go. You got some divisional battles, so I'll just kind of pick and choose where I go here. So I'll start off with, we touched on Jacksonville and Buffalo. I like Buffalo in that one. I also like the under 48.5 there. You can put me down for that.
Yep.
I think Buffalo gets up and they kind of coast. So I don't think they'll need to score a lot of points to keep up with anything. Next, I got Houston, Atlanta. I love Houston this year. They are fun to watch.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud's been fun. He's 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. We got Collins, Tank Dell on the outside. 0 sacks last week. So I think that O-line's doing a good job protecting them. And if you're giving me, Houston's getting points right now, which
plus 1.5 is what I
had to
have.
do a double take because I couldn't believe that.
So
give me Houston. I'm not going to touch that over under. I'll leave that alone. But yeah, give me Houston in that one. What else we got? Carolina and my Lions. 10 points. That line keeps climbing. All the numbers point Carolina. Like I would see Detroit winning by 7 or 8 points, but I think Detroit can just beat Carolina in so many ways. So I'm going to go Detroit minus 10 on this one. Again, not going to touch the over-under because I don't know what Carolina's going to do. No idea. Yep. Then we got Tennessee, Indianapolis. This is kind of a toss-up for me. Who you got in this one?
I love this pick, actually.
Do you?
I got Indy plus 2.5. I think Richardson's the real deal. He just got to get it going. He can't pull out the wins, but they're going to hang in. I don't know if Taylor's back. I don't know if I want him back though. They've been solid scoring wise without him. So and they're putting up like 20, 30 points. So it's just they can't find the win. Their defense.
Interesting thing is Indy was 1.5 when the week started, favorites. Now Tennessee's favored by 2.5.
Yeah,
I'm just saying Vegas might know something here. For that reason, I'll probably go Tennessee. I think Derrick Henry got right last week, and Tannehill just has to do enough against this Indy defense. So give me the Tennessee minus 2.5. So we're going to differ on that one. Next ones, I got New York Giants at Miami. Giants, oh my God, how bad do they look? I think Danny Dimes had about 0.3 seconds average to get the ball out. And I don't think that changed. Miami has a sneaky good front on the D-line. They just get it done. So
yeah,
as big as the spread is, I think this is Miami's get-right game. I don't think they're going to score 70 again, but I think they get up near that 35-40 number. I think they could. So give me Miami minus 11.5. Also give me the over 47.5 for Miami.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
Just because like Miami's pass defense 28th in the league right now. I think if Saquon Barkley plays, which I'm kind of betting he is, even if he's limited, I think that opens up, either running lanes or play action stuff for Daniel Jones.
Yep.
Next on my list is Baltimore-Pittsburgh divisional battle. I like this game. I like Baltimore minus 4.5. I think Lamar found his groove a little bit last week. I think Lamar might be back. I hesitate to say that because he's Lamar Jackson, but yeah, and Pittsburgh's allowing 4.9 yards allowed to running back, and basically Lamar, when he gets outside the pocket, is kind of a running back. So I think he's going to gash them a little bit. And that Pittsburgh offense looks broken. It looks really bad.
Awful.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're going to need just 4.5 points for Baltimore, I'll take it. And I was kind of go back and forth on this over under. It's at 38 right now, and I am not going to touch it. I don't want it.
Yep.
I don't even want it. Next game is New Orleans at New England. Speaking of broken teams, Belichick looked pretty broken on the sidelines, asking, "Where's Tom? Where's Tom coming back? Tom? No, he's not back." So he's got Mac Jones instead. That's not going well. So give me New Orleans -1. Again, another line that kind of moved here. New England was favored by 1.5 beginning of the week. That's obviously changed. Vegas is telling us something. So give me New Orleans to cover. And I'll probably go the under at 39.5. I don't think much is going to happen in this game. A little bit of a snooze fest. They're trying to get Kamara the ball. I think defenses know that. And he's not. He had 13 catches last week for 7 yards or something. So I think defenses know what's up. Next game, we got Cincinnati, Arizona. I like Arizona too. I do. Yeah. I think Cincinnati. I think Burrow looks broken back there. He can't move. That O-line is struggling to give him time. And if he goes through his progressions, nothing's there. He's not going to be able to move out of the pocket. So, I like Arizona. I'm getting 3 points. I actually like Arizona to win this game outright. So they're at plus 140 money line right now. Not a bad bet.
That's a sneaky good one.
And the over under 44.5. I'm going to take the under on that one. Again, I think Arizona does enough, but I don't think either offenses can put up a high scoring affair. Yep. So give me under on that one. Philly, LA, we kind of touched on this. I love LA in this matchup. Like I said, you got Stafford slinging it around. You get cut back. You got Puka Nacua. You got Higbee. You got some weapons there. Philly is Philly, but they've kept it close too many times this year, and I think they're going to keep it close again. So I like Philly to maybe edge out this win, but I think LA covers that 4.5 number. And at plus 180, if you want to take a stab at that money line, I don't think that's a terrible bet either.
Yep, I love it.
49.5. It's a little spicy, a little balmy for me, so I'm going to stay away from that over under. Next up, we have KC, Minnesota. I'm going back and forth on this one as well. Beginning of the week, the line was 5.5. It's down to 3.5. Is Vegas knocking on our door? Like, you want a free gift? You want this? I like KC here. I do. And if they're getting, if that line's moving down, I'm going to probably hammer that at -3.5. Yeah. I think Minnesota does keep up. I think they have to if they want to stay in this division race in the North. 52.5, it's lofty, but I'll take the over there as well.
Oh,
I can see like a 30-27 or 30-26.
Yeah.
Hopefully 30-26 to cover, but I can see that.
Yeah.
Now, another stinker, New York Jets at Denver. I don't know what to do with this game, man.
Man.
I don't know what Cougar was winking at Zach Wilson last game for him to go off like that, but
I don't know. Yeah, he was playing great, so it might be a step in the right direction.
Maybe Denver's got some older snow bunnies in the crowd to to get Zach Wilson fired up. I hope so because I'm taking New York +2 to cover. But I hate that 43.5 number. I'll probably go under 43.5, but New York keeps it close or pulls this one out.
Yep.
I wouldn't touch that money line. It's 108 right now, but
Yeah.
although Russ is cooking, but that Jets defense they held Mahomes in check pretty well.
The Jets defense is pretty good.
They
solid.
held Mahomes in check, and Russell is not Mahomes. So give me New York to cover that one. Game of the week we touched on. Did I give you a bet on this one? I don't think I did.
I don't know if you did.
I was scared last time I went through. I'm still a little scared. 3.5. That's the magic number, right? Over a field goal.
Yep.
I'll go San Fran. Give me San Fran.
San Fran.
I think they go 5-0.
What do you have them at? I have them at -3.5. Do you have them any better?
3.5. 3-1 against the spread this year. 2-0 at home. I think they have enough pieces. I think Prescott.
McCaffrey's playing awesome right now.
I don't trust Dak. I've never trusted Dak.
I don't trust Dak at home, let alone on the road.
And I think Dallas is really relying on that defense, and I just think there's too much firepower in San Fran. I think Dallas keeps it close, but maybe 5-6 points. I don't think it's going to be within 3.5. That over and under, I'm not touching. I don't know what those defenses do. I think is it going to be a pound and ground or ground and pound type game? Is it going to be air it out? I have no idea. They can go either way, so I'm not touching that over under.
Yeah.
Then last up is this is the Monday night matchup, right? Green Bay, Las Vegas.
Yep.
Again, another weird line move. Green Bay started the week as 1.5 point favorites. Now they are 1 point dogs on the road. I think that might be the reason why Las Vegas is scoring 15.5 points a game right now. It's not because Las Vegas is lighting it up.
Yeah.
I like Green Bay here. I do. I think they keep up with – they try to keep up with Detroit in the north, and they're 2-0 against the spread on the road. So, yeah, give me Green Bay. Over under 44.5. I'm not touching. You can't make me.
Yep. All right. Yeah, that's not as loaded as you were last week, but that's still a hefty little board there for the week. So
patience.
Before I get into mine, what would you do? Because we are recording this about 8:00 p.m. right now on a Thursday night, so the Monday or Thursday night game is about to start here. What were you going with on the Chicago-Washington?
Chicago-Washington. What do you got the spread? You got 6, right?
Plus 6.5 Washington, -6.5 Washington.
I like Chicago here. I do.
Chicago? All right.
Yeah. It's tough because Chicago is 2-8 against the spread since last season on the road. Yep. And then Washington's 7-8 against the spread. So really nothing popping out as far as trends. Washington is on a 2-game losing streak. I think Washington wins this game, but I think Chicago keeps it close. You got two kind of bad defenses here. And Washington gives up a lot of sacks. And if Chicago's going to get it right, I think this is a get-right game for Chicago's defense. So, and I'm probably not going to touch that over-under either. I would.
Yeah, I'm definitely not on the over-under. I think I'm laying way off that. I hate Thursday.
Chicago keeps it close. If you want to take Chicago with the points, I'd pound it with a Fields anytime rushing touchdown as well. Sweeten that pot.
Yeah. I got Washington -5.5 on Barstool, so I got a little bit lower there. I got Washington -5.5 in that game here tonight, Thursday night game. But going into the London game, the Buffalo game, yeah, I love Buffalo minus 5.5. But yeah, I'm not touching that total either. 48.5. I think Buffalo can easily score. Like I said, I have them on my best bets. The Bills team total over 26.5. But I don't know if the Jaguars can equal that and get them over 48.5 for total.
Right.
So I'm just staying with Buffalo there. Houston Atlanta game, just like you said, I love Houston right now. I think they're like just sneaky good right now. Stroud's playing great. I like Houston plus 1.5. Then I also like the over in that game. I think there's going to actually be some scoring in that game. I think Houston put up like 30 last week, if I remember correctly. But I think they did against the Steelers actually, or I'm pretty sure they did against the Steelers, like 30-6 or so. I like Houston
So you
to put
think
up some points in that
you
game.
think Houston's going to score 42 points?
Not 42, but I think Atlanta will sneak a touchdown or two in there. But
Yeah, Desmond Ritter's
I
bad.
think they can get
He's so
a couple
bad.
scores in there somewhere, a couple field goals maybe. But Lions Carolina, I like Lions minus 10. I don't know if I love it, but it's on my best bet, so I'll explain that later to end here why I have them as my best bet. I got Tennessee versus Indy. I got Indy plus 2.5. I think Richardson's such a good addition there. I made the mistake last week of sitting Richardson in fantasy when I was playing you, and if I would have played him, I would have probably beat you by 20. So that was a bad fantasy decision by my
Ifs and
part
buts,
there.
man.
I don't know why I thought Kenny Pickett was going to be good. Kenny Pickett's awful. I might just dump him into
In the
the free
river.
agent list. But
You sound like us back on the golf course. If only I made birdie. If only I made birdie on 18, I would have shot 73.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
New York Giants, Miami. I love Dolphins minus 11.5. That's on my other best bets. I'll go over that here later. New Orleans Patriots. I like New Orleans to win that game, but I'm just going to stay with the under. There's a reason I have the under there. Also, Baltimore, Pittsburgh. I like Baltimore minus 4. Pittsburgh's terrible. I like the under there also, 38.5. Philly, Rams. I think the Rams can win this game, so I'm actually going to have them on my underdog parlay list. But I love the over 50 for the bets. Cincinnati, Arizona. Arizona, another one, is a best bet plus 3. I think Arizona is like 3-1 against the spread right now. Cincinnati is terrible against the spread. So I really like Arizona in that game. Jets, Denver, wouldn't think I would have done this, but I'm going Jets plus 2.5 also, like you did. I think maybe Zach Wilson's finding something now. So I'm going to put a little bit of trust in Zach Wilson right now, I think. And it's going up against Denver. So
Denver's defense looks broken.
What's that?
Denver's defense looks broken.
Yeah.
They look
which is crazy because they were so good last year. So that's just crazy to me how they're so bad this year right now. But Kansas City minus 3.5 against Minnesota. I'm doing that because it's just Kansas City. They're so good. Minnesota is very, very surprising at 1-3 this year. I don't know if they're going to change that, if that's going to turn around or not, but we'll see. Dallas 49ers starting this game. It's going to be one of those games where it looks on paper like it should be a high scoring game, but there's such good defenses that I'm going to go under 45, and that's all I'm touching on that game. Then the last game of the week on Monday night, Green Bay, Oakland. Again, just like you did, I like Green Bay plus 1, and I am actually going to go over 44.5 in that game. I think those teams can put up some points, even though not Oakland. Excuse me.
I was just going to say, who'd you say?
For that. I have it written Oakland on my paper too. Raiders, I have them. Even though they don't score a lot of points, I still think they can get some points against Green Bay. That Green Bay defense isn't that great, so I think there could be some points scored there in that game. So on this week, like you said, you're winning the trophy bets at 50%. I'm at 47%, so I'm right there. Just got to kind of sneak my way back into contention there. But do you have anything before we get out of here? Do you have anything parlays, props, daily fantasy, any of your best bets for the week?
I think daily fantasy, it'll be a fun week. I think there's a lot of sneaky options out there. If I'm going through this game list, if I want to target a game, let's see here. Arizona's a little sneaky. This what's that wide receiver's name? I just picked him up in my Arizona behind Hollywood Brown. You know what I'm talking about?
For Arizona?
Yeah.
You're not talking about Rondell Moore.
No, the other guy. I just picked him.
Rondell Moore. I can't remember the other guy's name there. Now you're gonna make us look
He's
bad.
got like a real white guy name. Hold on.
Oh, really?
Anyway, I like a couple like I think James Conner in that game's a sneaky back to target. See what else I got. The Rams.
He hasn't been doing nothing too crazy this year yet.
Yeah, I think people might, and I haven't seen Puka Nakua's price. I'm assuming it's up there, and I think they're going to stay.
Yeah, and Cooper Cup's coming back though, so that might drop it down a little bit.
Maybe, but I think people kind of stay away from him for that reason, and I have no reason to stay away from the hot hand. Like if you want to ride Puka Nakua to daily fantasy glory for the rest of the year, you might be in a good position to do that. I also like if you want to target Minnesota, Jefferson in that game. So yeah, there's some good pieces here. Again, I haven't picked a lineup yet, but take your second, third highest scoring game that you think is going to pop off, and then find your couple of beasts, and just build around them with these kind of second to third tier scoring games. I think you'll be okay. And again, a lot of these matchups are close, so you shouldn't have too many blowouts this week. So you can go a number of ways in the daily fantasy world. So,
yeah, I got underdog parlay, so I really don't like to go 3 or more on parlays, especially underdog parlays. So I'm gonna kind of like mix and match these. I have 4 teams I like this week that are underdogs in their games. Colts are plus 120 against the Titans. I think the Colts can win that game. They've been very close here this year so far in the last 4 games. They've been close in a few of them to winning them. They just got to kind of get over that hump to get that win in there. Texans, Falcons. Texans are plus 110. We both love the Texans. I think the Texans can easily get a win there in that game, so I do like that one. Rams I got it plus 175 over the Eagles. I think, and that's a tough game. I think that's the toughest game I have on here. Maybe the next one too. So that game I probably will pair with this next one, which is the Cowboys plus 155. I think the Cowboys have a chance to win that game. It's going to be very difficult. So for me, I'll probably pair like the Rams Cowboys at plus 175, plus 155. So you're obviously going to get pretty good odds on that. And if it hits, then you're making a ton of money. And then I'll pair like the Colts Texans with a little bit more of a safer underdog bet. I'll pair those two, and hopefully I can hit one of those two and make some money if I do that. I do have my best bets, which I'm going to kind of start doing the rest of the year. These are the bets that I'm basically betting, putting more than what I might put into our trophy bets. I'll put more like probably a unit or 2 on these bets for sure. My best bets for spread, I got Lions minus 10. I like them against Carolina. I think Lions are just hot right now. They're going to do good. Dolphins minus 12, Cardinals plus 3, and then the Packers plus 1. Those are my spread bets. Over unders, I don't love this because I hate betting unders, but I got Patriots Saints under 39.5, and I got Baltimore Pittsburgh under 38.5. The only thing I like about those is New England sucks and Pittsburgh sucks. So we have 2 terrible teams. And the Saints' defense is pretty good. Baltimore's defense is pretty good. Pittsburgh's defense is good. And the Patriots' defense plays good. So we have really 4 solid defenses that I think can keep this an under game. Those are probably going to be really, really boring games. Nobody's going to be watching them anyway. My last 3, I got team totals. I got Bills team total over 26.5. I got Dolphins team total over 30. And I don't love it, but I got to stay with the system. I think it's going to hit. Pittsburgh team total under 16.5. That's so low for a team total, but it's Pittsburgh, and there's any team in the league right now I think can't get over that. It would be them. So yeah, those are my best bets for the week. Do you have anything parlay wise?
Yeah, I like
props. Or you?
I like throwing a. I kind of do this every week too, but there are 4 teams that I really like for upsets this week, and if I see that, I try to hit that pretty hard. So if you want to do a 4-team parlay for underdogs here, You got Houston, Arizona. I want to run this real quick. I want to give people the actual odds here. So give me a second. I was going to say Houston, Arizona, New York, and LA.
Arizona can win that game.
They are. They're going to win. Just put it right in.
Yeah, they can win that game for sure.
Let's see here.
So you got Houston, Arizona, and then you said LA, like the Rams?
Houston, yep. New York.
I like that one too.
And who was my last one? Oh, there we go. That is at 1181 odds.
For those three.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
$10 gets you 118. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd put that in there because, like I said, I mean, I love two of those teams. Arizona, I think Cincinnati's kind of stepped. Arizona, my +3 on Arizona is really, really scaring me. Sticking with it because Cincinnati has kind of, but I still think Arizona has a good chance, especially at home down there in Arizona. I think they have a good chance that they can still pull that one out, or at least stay within the 3 for our spread bets. But yeah, I do like that.
I think this happens every year. You got a team that people don't want to believe is bad.
Yeah.
They don't want to believe Cincinnati's bad.
Yep.
But you watch them, and they look predictable. They look broken. Burrow does not look the same. And I don't think a light bulb's just going to go off, and all of a sudden, they're going to put up 30, 35 points. Mixon looks a little slow this year. Yeah, I really like those 4 teams to pull the upsides, and if you pair them together, make some money. Make that money.
Yep. Well, other than that, we will see everybody here next week for Week 5 bets. Also, pay attention to the channel. We might be throwing some shorts out there, a couple bets maybe that we might see over the weekend. Like I said, we filmed this on Thursday. So, I mean, you never know what could happen from between now and then, injuries, anything like that. So we will keep everybody updated as we can. And then also keep an eye out. We might be expanding into our own channel for Against the Spread on YouTube. So everybody will have to go follow that. We'll be putting out a lot more, hopefully, more content that way. Bets. Maybe we'll dabble a little bit into golf. I know me and Sean are a little bit big into golf, so we might dabble in that a little bit. I mean, we went to college for it, so we might as well use our expertise somehow. But like, subscribe, comment, share. We will see you guys all next week, and talk to you later, Sean.
Peace, guys.